Welcome everybody to my 10-minute stories. This is your boy KJ Bradley, and I have the distinct honor to welcome my mentor to the show, Mr. Henry Murphy. How you doing, brother?
Everything's good, man. How y'all doing today?
Good, man. So glad to have you on the show, man. Let's go ahead and get this thing started. 10 minutes to talk about your best subject, you and your company. So tell us a little bit about yourself, man. I know me and you personally been rocking for a long time, but let my listeners know about you.
Well, I got started about 8 years ago with Z180 Radio. It was my introduction into entrepreneurship. We started at making about $250 a month, man. So I left a $50,000 job, jump out to do $250 a month, but my heart was in entrepreneurship. I felt like this is what God was calling me to do. My wife was on board. Yeah, so I jumped out, man. And that was kind of the beginning. Z180 Radio was the beginning. And then we moved into what became Mag, which was a print magazine, which wound up doing very well. It was probably some of the hardest work that I've done in my life. Editorial is serious. Name and Respect magazines that's been around forever, like Jet magazine, because we modeled the size after Jet magazine. So, and then that kind of moved into other things like what I do now, which is Unapologetic Urban Gear, which I've been doing since 2013, and also the Sweatshop ATL, which was created to print primarily for Unapologetic Urban Gear. What happened with that is friends and family started contacting me about printing for them. So that actually grew into its own business. And then we started doing logos and graphic design and things of that nature. So that whole company just kind of grew into something else totally different, man. So, yeah.
You can tell that entrepreneur spirit is deep within you, man. Okay, so I got to ask, which one has been your favorite venture so far?
Woo. I still would have to say Unapologetic Urban Gear. Like I love the grind of it. I love the creativity of getting to do new designs. I love the photo shoots. I love the commercials. So I love every part of it. You know, it's day in, day out work with Unapologetic Urban Gear. So it's kind of hard to get boring with it. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, it's a beast, but I love it, man. It's still my favorite part.
So tell us a little bit about your inspiration. What kind of got you started on your track? I know you said you left a $50,000 a year job. What sparked that driving you to go out on your own?
Man, I think I would have to say that probably was always in me. I always loved marketing. And so I would be at work, and I was a restaurant manager, but it would get to me like it's more that you can be doing right now. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's just more that you can be doing. You could be running your own company. And that always kind of got to me as I used to just kind of sit in the back, things of that nature. And I used to work for Arby's, man. And Arby's is amazing with systems. They pay well. But, you know, when they send new marketing promotions in, like for new something that was coming out, I was like, oh, man, they should have done it this way. You know what I mean? I feel a certain way about maybe how things could have been done. And I was like, well, man, I need to be thinking about that for my own company. And so working for someone else always made me feel like, okay, I need to be out there working for myself.
Hey, that's great to hear. Hey, we're going to stop right now so the sponsors can get paid. We'll be back in a couple of minutes. This is my 10-minute stories.
This is Henry Murphy with Unapologetic Urban Gear, and this is my 10-minute story.
Hey, we're back with my 10-minute stories. I'm here with Mr. Henry Murphy. So we were kind of talking about the evolution of how everything got started. So you got a new project you're working on now. Tell us a little bit about it.
God Bless the Entrepreneur podcast. So I I've always felt like I was privileged that God gave me this great wisdom. I come from, I used to be in the streets when I was younger, so I had like a street background. So I had like the wisdom of God and street background, and it's kind of how I did business. You know what I mean? I got to this point last year where I just felt like I needed to give away knowledge. You know what I mean? Like everything can't be sold. And so I wanted to give away knowledge. And the best way to do that was a podcast. And, I was already doing things like counseling and mentoring and things of that nature. So I was like, okay, what can I do to kind of just give away value? You know what I mean? And that's how the podcast got started. And so we just went in full fledged, man. That'll be following up with a YouTube where I'll be talking about topics, a few times a week. And again, just giving away value to entrepreneurs that's coming up, entrepreneurs who are already in their field. You know what I mean? So we just created that to help, and it's been doing well. As you know, I got sick and I was out for like 3 weeks, man, and the listenership, like, it went up, you know what I mean? So, which is weird, you know what I mean? Because I missed like 3 or 4 shows, but it's been a blessing, man, and people have been loving the information.
Man, that's dope, man. So you also working on the Sweatshop University too, right? So what's a little bit
Okay, so we have the Sweatshop University, which is a hands-on class here in Atlanta, and 4 students at a time. They come in, they learn about printing, they learn about the material, the different vendors, and then we give them this get started packet that's full of information that they probably wouldn't be able to find all this information at in one place ever, because people charge for this information, but it kind of comes with the class. And so what happened is people from everywhere have been seeing the commercial. So they was like, look, man, I wish you had an online class. And I was saying, I'm not doing an online class. I'm just not going to do it. I want the hands-on experience. The reason I want the hands-on experience because it's so, man, it's crazy, because the atmosphere with everybody in it, it's amazing. Right. And so I was like, man, you're going to lose that, but I was like, man, okay, people kept asking, and I felt like I was cheating them if they couldn't experience it at all. So I'm kind of excited about that, man. I'm real excited about that.
Man, I'm telling you, you can tell your passion is in the design and the creation of the unapologetic gear, man. I'm telling you, I still remember those weirdo designs. You got to bring those joints back, man. If nothing but just for the retro, man. I'll tell you, my daughter loves her widows. She's still running after all these years, bro.
That's dope, though, man. I think I have to bring that collection back, man. I've been putting it off for a while.
No, I'm telling you, man. That my whole family rock those shirts, B. All right, before we go on commercial, we got to do a quick throwback. So a lot of people know you as Mr. Murphy and Henry Murphy, right? But all the way back, let's take it all the way back. There was a guy who was on the Christian music scene. You want to talk about it?
Yeah, we can talk about it, man. So I started out in music, man. I went by the name Zerubbabel, which is why people call me Zeru to this day. But yeah, man, I think the last project I dropped was 2011. And 2009, 2011, which is crazy. I'm gonna tell you what's crazy that you asked me that. I just got my master's back. And so we were talking about, putting them back up on the platforms, all the digital platforms, and actually doing 1-minute videos of some of those old songs to kind of like, for people who don't know, it's like, yo, this is still, a lot of this is still current. You know what I mean? So we've been talking about it, man. We've been talking about it.
B, that'll be dope, man, just to kind of get back, because you never really lose that passion, man. That music, it's something about music that just stay with you, man.
Yes, I agree 100%. 100%, man.
All right, hey, before we get on, we're going to go ahead and take one last break. We'll come back to finish everything up. This is my 10-minute stories.
This is Henry Murphy with Unapologetic Urban Gear, and this is my 10-minute story.
All right, guys, and we're back. I'm here to close out the show with Mr. Henry Murphy, my friend from way, way back, man. Hey, it's been a blessing, brother. I really appreciate you coming on my show. I know this is a rare encounter to get you on camera, so I am deeply honored, man, just to have you on my show, man. And when I tell you, brother, this is going to be one of my highlights of my first year doing this thing, man. I truly mean that from everything that's in me.
Oh, man, I'm honored to be on here, bro.
Bro, I
Yes,
really
sir.
appreciate it, man. So let's tell the people, man, before we drop that golden nugget, tell the people what projects you got working on, what they can look forward to, and where they can reach you at.
All right, so what I'm getting ready to work on after the Sweatshop ATL line go on is a marketing course. Basically, if you have a brand or anything like that, just teaching you how to scale up by using ads and different things like that. And so that's probably going to be a 4 or 5 week course. But we've been test marketing it, and it's been crazy. It's been amazing. Different results from different people who are doing stuff. But I can tell you this, man, one guy has done over 30K in the last month with a new brand. Whoa. And which is crazy all in itself. So yeah, that's next for me project wise. But you can reach me at 3 different websites for sure. GodBlessTheEntrepreneur.com, UUGATL.com, and the SweatshopATL.com. So those are my 3 businesses. And you'll be able to follow me on social media from all of those. But yeah, that's how you get in contact with me, man.
Hey man, I appreciate it. Like I said, before we go, man, we like to end the segment with what we call the golden nugget. This is where you look back in our time machine. You got a young Henry coming up, getting ready to step out of that managerial role and step out on his own. What advice will you give him?
I would say be aggressive. Take more risk with your finances. You know, sometimes what we do is when we're younger, we put those finances up for the future, thinking so much about the future and not taking care of the present. While we're healthy, that's where those finances should be going. We should be taking the most risk while we're younger, you know, especially if we're in our 20s. I would even say your 30s, you know what I mean? Most people don't know that the prime is really, you know, for a man, it's like in the 60s. It's not young like how we think it is. You know what I'm saying? So we should be taking those risks while we're young. You feel what I'm saying? So even if you got into almost 40 and you actually want to get into what they call a regular plan and start putting up money for retirement, you still could do that at 40. You know what I'm saying? Right. And still be good by the time you're 65. But take risk in those 30s and 40s, man. Put it into whatever business that you are trying to do, and let that business buy you whatever you want to buy. You know what I mean? Because you took risk. You know what I mean? You spent money on it. You really seen if it worked. If it don't work, then you try something else. But I would say, look, take more risk. Because when I jumped into this entrepreneur thing, I really didn't know what I wanted to do. So I was trying everything. But as I was trying everything, I was seeing what was passionate for me, what, you know, the Lord was trying to show me, hey, this is where I want you to be. Those are the things that I needed to get pointed out to me. But I had to try a few things to do it. You know what I mean? And so, yeah, man, that would be me looking back, be aggressive, take more risk.
Hey, man. And that's the word right there, man. Hey, brother, you don't know how blessed I am to have you on this show, man. I really appreciate it.
Man, you're welcome, bro. Thank you, man. Again, I'm honored.
Indeed. Hey, we'll see you guys next week with another episode. This is my 10-minute stories. Keep making those stories, guys.